What's up, basketball fans? Welcome back to Halftime Rewind, where we break down the biggest NBA stories that you might have missed. Tonight, we're diving into the Indiana Pacers' gritty first half against the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. It's been a rough start to the season for Indiana, and they're fighting through more injuries than most teams deal with in a full year. Still, even without their top guns, the Pacers came to play. On the second night of a back-to-back, they went toe-to-toe with the Warriors and trailed just 48-41 at halftime. Let's rewind the tape and unpack how this matchup unfolded, who stood out, and what both squads need to do in the second half. Right from the jump, Golden State came out firing. Quinton Post, the Warriors' sharpshooting big man, buried two quick triples to put his team ahead 13-4 early. But give Indiana credit. They didn't fold. Their defense tightened up, forcing the Warriors into tough shots and sloppy possessions. In fact, the Pacers held Golden State scoreless for nearly 6 minutes in the first quarter. That defensive stretch turned into a 10-0 Indiana run, and suddenly, the visitors snatched the lead. Both teams traded buckets in the final minute, but a layup from Jimmy Butler gave Golden State a narrow 23-21 edge after one. The second quarter opened with promise for the Pacers. Isaiah Jackson knotted things up with a quick basket inside, showing flashes of why he's such a high-energy contributor. But Golden State countered with 6 straight points and never looked back for the rest of the half. Despite the Warriors controlling the tempo, Indiana refused to let the game slip away. They stayed within striking distance, relying on hustle plays, offensive rebounds, and bench contributions to stay alive. You could sense that, even undermanned, this Pacers squad was determined to compete on every possession. Jackson led the charge early, finishing the first half with 8 points and 3 rebounds. His physicality in the paint helped the Pacers hang around, while Monte Morris came off the bench to drop 8 points and dish out 3 assists. Andrew Nembhard, returning from a shoulder injury that kept him sidelined for 7 games, showed flashes of his usual playmaking, racking up 5 assists. However, his shot wasn't falling. He went just 1 for 9 from the field. Still, for a guy working back into rhythm, Nembhard's court vision and effort were encouraging signs for Indiana fans. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Pacers' injury list. It's a long one, 9 players out for this matchup. That includes all-star forward Pascal Siakam, who sat for rest after playing the previous night, and starting wing Aaron Nesmith, sidelined with a right forearm contusion. Add to that a string of other absences: Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell, and more. And it's clear this team is running on fumes. But you wouldn't know it from how they played that first half. Their energy, especially on defense, spoke volumes about the culture Indiana is building under pressure. On the flip side, Golden State wasn't at full strength either. The Warriors were missing their superstar leader, 2-time MVP Stephen Curry, who's been battling an illness and missed his 3rd straight game. That absence left a big hole in Golden State's offense. But veterans like Jimmy Butler and Al Horford stepped in to provide stability. Horford, now coming off the bench to preserve his legs for a potential deep playoff run, logged key minutes anchoring the defense. His presence, even in a supporting role, helped the Warriors maintain control of the paint and dictate pace throughout much of the first half. Golden State's depth, however, remains a bit of a question mark. DeAnthony Melton, who's still rehabbing from a serious knee injury, wasn't available, meaning more minutes for younger rotation players. The Warriors have been trying to find consistency early this season, and that challenge was evident tonight. They had stretches of beautiful ball movement followed by periods of stagnation. Without Curry scoring gravity, their spacing tightened up, allowing Indiana to pack the lane. It's a reminder that even with Butler's leadership and Horford's savvy, this Warrior squad isn't quite firing on all cylinders yet. Meanwhile, The Pacers entered this contest with a 1-8 record. Tough sledding for a team that had playoff hopes just months ago. Their lone win, interestingly enough, came against these same Warriors earlier in the season. That victory served as proof that Indiana can surprise anyone when they execute. Even shorthanded, they've shown glimpses of a resilient identity built on hustle and ball movement. Sure, the shooting numbers haven't been pretty, but effort is something that can't be taught, and this group is overflowing with it. The halftime deficit didn't feel insurmountable, especially with Golden State still searching for rhythm. As the teams hit the locker rooms, the big question was simple. Could Indiana sustain this intensity? Playing on tired legs after a blowout loss in Denver the night before, fatigue was an obvious factor, but the Pacers' younger players seemed eager for the challenge. For the Warriors, it was all about sharpening execution. Their defense had done its job, holding Indiana to just 41 first-half points. But offensively, they needed someone to step up and create consistent scoring opportunities. The second half was shaping up to be a battle of willpower. Who wanted it more? Looking ahead, both these teams have big-picture concerns to solve. The Pacers need to get healthy and rediscover their offensive identity once Siakam, Halliburton, and Mathurin return. The Warriors, meanwhile, must manage the load of their aging core while keeping younger pieces engaged. But if tonight's first half taught us anything, it's that no matter who's on the floor, effort and discipline still decide games. Stay tuned, because this matchup might just have a few surprises left before the final buzzer sounds. And as always, hit that like button, subscribe for more Halftime Rewind, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments below.